Welcome to the SEO.co Search Engine Optimization Podcast. Digital marketing essentials and next-level tactics. From off-site and on-site optimization to persuasive selling and everything in between. You'll learn actionable tips on what it takes to outright and outrank your competition.
Welcome back to the SEO.co podcast. Today we're continuing the series Google Ad Suspension and a how-to guide for fixing a suspended account. Let's get started by going over your options. First, remove malware or dangerous software. If the email you received from Google explaining why your Google Ads account was suspended indicates your site is home to dangerous malware or software, invest in an effective malware removal tool and clean your site up. If your account remains suspended even after you're confident you've gotten rid of any and all harmful malware or software, you might have to contact Google to explain that you fixed the problem. Next, modify your ads. Again, even if you didn't mean to violate Google's advertising policies or any local advertising laws, you may have done so simply because you weren't aware of a law or policy. Luckily, after you've reviewed Google's justification for your account suspension, in many instances, restoring your account is as easy as changing your ads or behavior accordingly. For example, if your account was suspended because Google determined one or more of your ads was excessively inflammatory, you can remove or change those ads to better align with Google standards. Next, pay up. It can be easy to lose track of your spending from time to time when running marketing campaigns. Depending on the size of your business, you might not even be directly involved in monitoring your spending most of the time. Google might have suspended your Google Ads account because you haven't paid for certain ads or a particular related service yet. Pay what's due, and Google should restore your account promptly. That said, you may want to reach out to Google first if you receive an email claiming your account has been suspended and won't be reactivated until you pay a fee if you confidently feel you've remained up to date on all payments. At the very least, check to confirm your account actually is suspended before taking any action. A scammer could have sent you a phishing email pretending to represent Google in order to rip you off. Next, secure your account. If Google suspended your account because an unauthorized user tried to access it, you can fill out and submit a form to secure your account. Next, create an account with Family Link. Depending on which country you're in, you have to be a certain age to have a Google Ads account. Google may suspend your account if it's discovered you don't meet the age requirement. However, it's sometimes possible to get around these requirements by creating a Google account with Family Link. This allows parents to exercise more control over which Google services and products their children can and cannot access. Next, appeal. Mistakes can and do happen. This is as true on Google's end as it is on yours. Perhaps your account was suspended over a misunderstanding or a misinterpretation. Not every supposed violation of Google's policies is actually a genuine violation. If you think your account was suspended improperly, Google offers a form you can submit to appeal the suspension. However, if you do choose to appeal your account suspension, be extremely careful when filling out the form, and double-check all information before submitting it. If the submitted form contains any false information, the assumption will typically be that you knowingly attempted to deceive Google. The result? Permanent suspension of your Google Ads account. It's also worth noting that sometimes a valid and reasonable appeal will be rejected. Submitting the form to appeal your account suspension doesn't immediately guarantee your account will be restored. If your appeal is rejected, but you genuinely don't think it should have been, you can contact the Google Ads team directly. Explaining the circumstances with an actual member of the team instead of hoping the person who reviews your appeal sees your side of the story can give you the chance to more clearly explain the situation. Once more, though, be completely honest in any discussions you may have. Being caught in even a seemingly minor lie can make Google's team unwilling to consider any of your other points or arguments. Here are some other need-to-know ways to avoid Google Ads account suspension. Along with familiarizing yourself with all the relevant policies and laws regarding how you can and can't use your Google Ads account, you can also avoid account suspension in such ways as carefully creating and reviewing all ads. This may seem like a no-brainer, but if you've been running ads via a Google Ads account for a decent period of time, you may get complacent, no longer making a point of carefully reviewing your ads before submitting them for publication. Do not fall into this habit. Whether you create your own ads or employees create them for you, before submitting an ad for publication, always carefully review it with the specific intention of looking for any issues that would qualify as violation of Google's policies. If you even suspect an ad might cause problems, either modify it before submitting it, or check Google's policies again to confirm whether you have a reason to be hesitant. Next, asking questions. You're not the only person who may feel Google's advertising policies are sometimes unclear. On Quora, Reddit, and many other platforms, there are numerous communities of users who ask and answer questions about Google's ad policies and similar topics. If you're at all confused about an issue, head to one of these communities and ask others for insight. However, not every single member of such communities will necessarily be an expert, even if they claim to know what they're talking about. Use your judgment when determining whether you feel you can trust any given member to provide you with accurate information. Obviously, you can also contact Google to ask a question, although you may have to wait a little bit longer to get an answer than you would on a forum or a community page. And lastly, staying secure. Installing a security plugin to protect your site from malware is never a bad idea. Additionally, create the strongest password possible for both your site and your Google Ads account, and periodically change your passwords to avoid unauthorized access. Of course, hopefully you'll never have to use any of the information here because your Google Ads account will never be suspended. Just remember that if it ever is, unless you've committed a major violation, restoring your account likely won't be too complicated. That said, it's also very wise to learn from this experience. If your Google Ads account is suspended, make sure you thoroughly understand why so you can avoid these types of problems in the future. And that's all we've got for this series. Thanks again for joining us on the SEO.co podcast, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Thank you for joining us on the SEO.co podcast. We appreciate your time. Be sure to rate, review, and subscribe to the show, and visit SEO.co for more resources based on today's topic, as well as access to more podcast episodes to help you improve your site's long-term SEO success.